Well, guys, it happened. It happened. Teofimo Lopez lost the fight to Kambosos Jr. George Kambosos Jr. Wow. I gotta say, I'm lost for words. I did not expect him to look like that against George Kambosos Jr. But like I said, George Kambosos Jr. was not coming to just lay down. He was not coming to just get a check. And Teofimo Lopez found that out the hard way. Hopefully this will be a learning lesson for him, and he'll train for every fight like it's his last fight. There was like a lot of content online about his weight. I tried to ignore that just a little bit and just think, well, he can overcome it, with his skill, and his experience. But no, he came out charging like a bull, ended up getting dropped the first round. Then ended up fighting for his life the whole fight. It looked like a struggle for Teofimo. Kambosos was not playing games. He was on point. He was on point. And Teofimo was not. Now, he did drop Kambosos in the later half of the fight, but that was not enough, because after he dropped Kambosos came back and won those championship rounds without any doubt. He whooped Teofimo the entire fight. You can just look at the damage done to Teofimo. Now, Kambosos had obviously some damage done to him, if you're just looking at their faces. But I'd never seen Teofimo look like that. I mean, he was bloody. He was in a war. And he didn't win. Now, the sad part is, I do not want to see him and Devin Haney fight now. I am tired of these fights, these mega fights not happening for whatever reason. And then, poof, because for whatever reason, these fighters didn't get in the ring with each other. And now the anticipation is gone. Lopez has some work to do. Now he's got unfinished business with two fighters. Not one, but two. He's got to beat Kambosos twice. And he's got to fight Vasily Lomachenko again. Now, if he chooses to not fight Vasily again, all right, I won't really hold that against him too much, but I do not want to see him in the ring with Devin Haney until he fights Kambosos Jr. and finishes that. Looking at the fight, I don't know if he can even beat Kambosos Jr. if he's gonna fight like that, if that's all he's got. Because in that Lomachenko fight, Lomachenko did start coming on in the later half of that fight. And when Lomachenko let his hands go, Teofimo couldn't get out the way of anything. He was getting touched. Wherever Lomachenko wanted those gloves to land, they were landed. Now, respect to both fighters for getting in the ring and putting on a show for us fans. Gotta respect both fighters for that. But yeah, wow, what a shocker. I did not see that coming. I had Teofimo Lopez knocking out Kambosos in this fight. But when he charged at Kambosos in that first round, I had a bad feeling in my stomach. That didn't feel right. That didn't look good. Through the years of the history of boxing, we've seen what that gets you. We've literally seen what that gets you. Why would he do that? Nothing good has ever come from it. I'm lost. What advice did he get in the corner? What advice did he get in the corner besides stop playing with this guy? I don't think he was playing, guys. I don't think he was playing. I think he was in a fight for his life. Wow. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos Jr. for putting on the show. Salute to Kambosos Jr. for the victory over Teofimo Lopez. I'm definitely interested to see where his career goes now. I'll be following Kambosos Jr. I said before, this guy doesn't look like he's afraid of Teofimo Lopez. He did a great job selling the fight, making me believe that he believes he can beat Teofimo Lopez. That's not the case all the time when you see the challenger going up against the champion. All right? But this guy looked like he believed 100% that he was going to beat Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, he did not look like he was coming to just take a check, get a check. Wow. What a shocker. What's next for Teofimo? Where does he go from here? If I was Devin Haney, for all the hoopla, you know what? I'm going to stay out of that. That's not my business. And that's one thing we got to watch out as fans, that we don't cross that line. These guys are this is business as well. And these guys are the ones putting their life on the line in the ring. So I just try to, stay in a fan's lane. But wow, I wish we could have got that fight. The anticipation for Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez has definitely gone down significantly. I do not want to see that fight until Teofimo Lopez beats Kambosos Jr. I want to see Devin Haney versus Kambosos Jr. now. That fight is way more interesting to me. What do you guys think? I mean, let's keep it real. What the heck is going on in boxing? First Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Then we get Anthony Joshua losing to Usyk even after he loses to Ruiz. Now, he did come back and avenge that loss to Ruiz. But again, the fight with Deontay Wilder, the anticipation was never the same, and it's still not the same. Wow. What is going on in the sport of boxing? Where is Teofimo Lopez going to go from here? Even if he goes to 140. Sometimes you gotta just, it's not always about the business. Sometimes, possibly, could it be race impacting these fights not happening? Because why didn't we get the Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez fight? Why? Why couldn't that fight just have been made? Why couldn't it have been made? Boxing has got to change. We have got to start getting the fights that we want to see when it's time. Us as fans, or I should say me as a fan, even if you take a loss, like this is why I'm a fan of Shawn Porter. This is why I'm a fan of Shawn Porter. He gets in there and he fights with anybody. So even if he loses in those super fights, you're going to be interested in the next fight because you know he has a great chance of winning those fights. What is going on in the sport of boxing? Give us the fights we want to see when it's time, not when it's too late. Give us the best fights. The UFC is giving the best fights available consistently. Not once a year, not once every 2 years, not once every 3 years, not once every 5 years, not once every 10 years. Heck, not even once a month sometimes. Sometimes you get crazy fights twice a month. What is going on in the sport of boxing? Give us the fights we want to see. I'm tired of this. I love boxing. I'm a huge fan of boxing. I know a little bit about the history of boxing. All right? If it wasn't for my asthma, I think I would have been a boxer or tried. But wow, I can't believe this. This has got to be one of the most shocking upsets this year. Wow. But where does Teofimo go from here? Where does Kambosos Jr. go from here? I'm more interested in seeing where Kambosos Jr. goes from here than I am Teofimo Lopez. I want to see Devin Haney in the ring against George Kambosos Jr. next. That's the fight to make. After Devin Haney fights this fight, I don't know who would be the winner, but I'm definitely interested in seeing this fight. What is going on in the sport of boxing? Congrats to Kambosos Jr. on the victory. He was sharp as a tack. I liked his style in that ring. He got caught with a few shots there, you know, but all in all, I think he did pretty well. I think he did pretty damn good. So shout out to Kambosos Jr. Teofimo Lopez, keep your head up, man. We got to stop this, guys. We got to stop this. Give us the fights. You might as well. You might as well. Or you take the chance of looking like this, of something happening like this. This is happening too much. Mega fights. Losing interest because of something like this, an upset. And it's happening more frequently now than ever. I'm tired of it. Give us the fights. All right, guys, that's all I got. Give us the fights.